welcome back to Total Spotfest. It's your champ, JJ Brownlee, coming at you with Mr. Former Champion, Jamie Faulkner.
Former 5 consecutive time.
We talked about this. But no, former 5-time in a row champion, yes, but not the current reigning. I'm going to do it because just for you. Defending.
You're the one who got pissed when I did it.
I didn't want to do it, but I figured I'd just do it just to get you riled up. Your pay-per-view champion, JJ Brownlee. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We are back with another episode. We had Dynamite last night. We got Impact gearing up for another little mini pay-per-view, mini PPV thing, whatever, coming up this weekend, and a whole bunch of stuff. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate it. As always, if you're on YouTube, like, subscribe, share, all the things down below. Leave a comment. If not, you can get in touch with us on Twitter at Total Spotfest. So our belt was determined once and for all as a result of Journey Pro this weekend. And you see the title above my head. So for those of you
Yes. You won it fair and square.
I did.
No technicalities on this one. It's 100% yours for 20-something days. And then it'll be back to daddy.
Well, we shall see about that.
Or at minimum in the FWO.
We are defending it next because Double or Nothing is coming up end of the month here. So, yeah, Double or Nothing. For some reason, I always get I don't know why I do this, but I always seem to mix up the order of Double or Nothing and Full Gear. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Full Gear is November. That's the easiest way for me to
know. It's the same anyway. So, for those of you not knowing what we're talking about, we carried over the championship title from our result last month into the Journey Pro tournament, and we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about Journey Pro because we spent a good chunk of time sitting down with Chris and going over everything. So above my head over here is a little balloon, boop, up at the corner. Click on it. You can go listen to, if you have not already, our Journey Pro recap show with Chris Mowry from Journey Pro. If you're not familiar with what happened, at least go and watch the last half hour of it, because we get into what we both say was one of the most amazing things we've ever seen live and in person. Period. Not just wrestling related. So please go give that a listen. But next Journey Pro show is coming up here the weekend of All Out, that Saturday. But we'll get All Out. See, I'm doing it again. I'm fucking up the pay-per-views again, man.
You sure are. God, you're on fire right now.
I am just, I have, I'm being weighed down by all this gold up on my shoulder. It's just it's weighing down my brain. Okay, I don't know. Fuck it. Let's move forward. So,
I mean, as your former 5 consecutive time champion, I don't think I was ever like this. Act like you've been here before, man.
According to you, I never have been here before, so maybe not. Once again, I can make the comparison of Chiefs Steelers to really rile you up if you won, but not.
I mean, we got 2. We don't only have 1. We have.
Yeah, you
2.
finally got another 2. That's wonderful. Yeah, one that you actually alive for this time, so that's good and all, And since that one, it's like you guys have created football. I'm just saying. That's kind of like the impression.
I mean, the new era of football, absolutely.
Sure, because you got that one 3 years ago. Okay, good job. Yay.
I mean, it was because of our offense that the entire NFL has changed. And that's not wrong.
Has it, though? I mean, consistency. There are those constants in football. Over time, defense is always what gives you the championships. Maybe not 1 or 2 here or there, but longevity is how you do things. We shall see. We'll get a lot more smack talking once football season actually starts. Let's talk about some wrestling. So, as I made mention, coming up this weekend is a real interesting little thing with Impact. So on Saturday night, they've been doing this, and I know it's just been 2 weeks since their last pay-per-view. And this isn't like a pay-per-view in the traditional sense, but it's kind of a special event if you want to call it there. I mean, it is a pay-per-view technically. You have to pay to watch it, but it's Under Siege. And it's one of those things that you can get on their YouTube channel. It's for like $10. It's a little different. The card though is very interesting. So I'm just gonna fly through the card I want to see some of your reactions here. So you've got Chris Sabin versus Steve Maclin. They're continuing that feud on, kind of going with that, right? Alex Shelley versus Mike Bailey, which
going with Mike Bailey.
Want to see that for sure. You have on the pre-show, you have Giselle Shaw versus Madison Rayne. Okay, sure.
Madison Rayne.
You have the Bullet Club, Jay White, Doc Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Chris Bay. Oh, and El Phantasmo versus Honor No More, Eddie Edwards, Kenny King, Vincent, Mike Taven, and Mike Bennett.
Go with the Bullet Club.
Get that headbanger action in there. You have a Reina de Reina's title rematch. Deonna Purrazzo going up against Taya Valkyrie. You have an Impact Knockouts title match. Tasha Steelz putting it up against Havoc because she didn't beat Rosemary, so
Tasha Steelz will retain.
Tasha Steelz going to retain, and then Josh Alexander is going to retain, but he's putting up the title against Tomohiro Ishii.
Ooh,
he's just making his rounds, right? He's doing the Minoru Suzuki bit. He's just making his rounds. So okay, and then the one that I really want to see. The Impact World Tag Team title match. Violent by Design defending against the Briscoes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I could see the Briscoes stealing this because what my understanding is they have assigned with Impact.
I want to see him get this. I do. I love me the Briscoes. Shout out goes to Mark's wife. Best wishes, by the way. I know that she had some labor issues and rushed to the hospital and everything. Hope that her and their baby's doing good and everything. But I definitely would love to see the Briscoes win. But yeah, they've reportedly signed with Impact Wrestling, which by God should have happened. If Tony Khan wasn't going to re-sign them in Ring of Honor land, I mean, definitely wouldn't get missed by Impact. So.
Yeah, exactly. My thoughts exactly.
Some good wrestling. You're probably not going to see a lot of surprises in this because it just was after another one. I think you might get the Briscoes getting a title defense, but you get to see almost the full Bullet Club, And there's rumors that God is going to be popping their head back into Impact Wrestling as well. So,
ooh, I'm for that.
I mean, yeah, you got God, El Phantasmo's over there now for a spell. So, fuck yeah, let's go. So, I didn't watch Impact this week. I watched Rampage. Did you watch Rampage at all?
I did not.
You didn't miss much.
We were a little busy.
I know we were busy. We were busy experiencing one of the greatest live shows we have seen, and one of the greatest experiences ever. I mean, come on, Gary J versus Effie is all I gotta say, people. Go check out the video. But I did watch later on in the weekend. I did watch Rampage. I taped it. It was fine. Darby Allin swerve for the Owen Hart qualifier. Yeah, Darby won that. You had the baddies, they're calling them. So Jade Cargill, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan are now known as the baddies. Their tag team, their trios team. They had a match, they won. You had Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn. You had Danhausen calling out Hook. Did not turn into a match because you had Mark Sterling and Tony Nese come in and interfere with them and, stop any shenanigans from happening, which meant you had a brief Hookhausen situation going on and a Hookhausen chant from the crowd, 100%. And of course, Hook pushes Danhausen at the end. They're good. It's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. You had an entertaining match with main event. It was a ROH TV title match. Samoa Joe versus Trent Beretta. Samoa Joe retained, but like I said, it wasn't a packed card. I think he knows with the way that Rampage is going to be shuffled over the next couple of months here. He's not loading up the cards like he was just a few weeks ago. So it is what it is. Well,
Yeah.
So, all right. So that's my news and notes I wanted to get through. Before we get into Dynamite, you have for our new segment we started last week here, a indie spotlight. I can't remember what we called it, but independent
wrestler spotlight.
There we go.
Yes, we have a spotlight here, and this is again a friend of the show that we have happened to do an interview with, but it's the better half, if you will, none other than Austin Reddick, aka Austin Aftermath. After we saw him join the Wasteland War Party, that's at least what I'm dubbing him. He is my spotlight. He has been in the independent scene for a long time, since I believe he said 06. So he's been around for a hot minute.
Yep.
You can find him on Twitter at Reddick Rules. He is a good follow, absolutely hilarious, amazing wrestler. He's a Terry Funk homer, just like all of us. He loves that style of wrestling. He is just a great dude, amazing wrestler. Everybody should at least give him a follow on the Twitters. And if you are a booker of any type, look him up. He's a hell of a wrestler and a hell of an athlete. Good dude. Can do heel or face.
Can do both. He started off from Texas, a Texan. And then eventually with Heidi, they moved up to Denver area. He kind of got known pretty well in the Denver circuit. Now they live in Kansas. He is actually somewhat responsible, kind of, for Heidi getting into being a wrestler. So
her first show he was wrestling at.
Yep. And and they were going out before she decided to become a wrestler. And so I'm not giving him all the credit, but he's a little bit, kind of helped her out along the way. Not a fan of Lord of the Rings, doesn't hate it, but not really into it, so
that's why he's getting this spotlight.
He was the only one who laughed at Jamie's joke of a chant that he made on Friday at Heidi Howitzer mocking Lord of the Rings. He was the only one in the entire building that laughed because he got the inside jokeness of it. So
I appreciated that very much, by the way.
That's why he's really endeared himself to Jamie. That's not lie. But yeah, so give him a follow, give him a shout. If you're looking for you're looking for a good person to have on your card there, go put on an entertaining show, good wrestling, definitely hit him up. So very good.
And he's a great interview too. He's absolutely hilarious. Got some great stories. So definitely give him a go.
Give him the shout. All right. Well, that was our independent wrestler spotlight. One day I'll have a bumper for that and make it look all purdy like. So let's talk about what you really want to get to, and I do too, which was last night's Dynamite.
Yes, May the 4th be with you, Dynamite edition. And it was a pretty solid show once
better
again.
Than last week's. I mean, for sure. I mean, last week's was terrible, but I thought this was better than last week's show for sure.
There's a few things in this that kind of surprised the hell out of me. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay.
I was surprised by two things.
By two things. Okay, I'm interested to see what those two things are here. I don't want to say anything really surprised me.
I was
let's get
legit surprised.
Okay, let's get to it.
So let's just start with we'll run through the card real fast. He had the Owen Hart Foundation Memorial Tournament qualifier, Jeff Hardy with Mr. Matt Hardy going against Bobby Fish. And Jeff Hardy got the win over Bobby, and he is advancing into the tournament. It was a solid match.
Good way to open. You had Cole on commentary, doing Adam Cole things, right?
Jeff's looking old.
Jeff is looking old. Jeff is old. Let's be real.
He's finally looking it though. Like he's been fighting Father Time for a minute, but not.
His problem is that not substances. Stop that. all you guys at home, stop that. No, his problem is that he beat the living shit out of his body for 25 years. You know.
He's Darby Allin in the future.
Yeah,
He's the ghost of Darby Allin's future.
Yeah, someone be like, Darby, this is a mirror. This is you in 2 decades. You know, yeah, he was beating the living crap out of his body. You know, so it's just sometimes them joints don't work like they used to. But he still gets the big pop. It's still good to see him. We're going to get the dream match at some point in time because they keep teasing on BTE, and then after the match was over, because they're now all together, they're now on the same page, right? Out come the Young Bucks to console Bobby Fish, you know, and everything. But before they go over to Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, you know, they have a little stare down there with the Hardys, and the crowd just kind of like, ooh. We're gonna get that at some point in time. You know, we know this, but
oh yeah. Very, very, very soon. After that, match 2, we had the Blackpool Combat Club going against the Butcher Blade and Angelico. Angelico. But the reason I said it like that is because freaking Regal called him Angelico at the very beginning and just cracked my shit up.
And then he asked what it actually was, and you know, he goes with a couple of pronunciations, and then of course, you know, Excalibur corrects him. He goes, "I was gonna call him Angelico. That's what I know him as."
Yeah, Angelico. Like, yeah, he had a whole bunch of good ones. The BCC wins. Like, that's all you need to know. Yep. It was good. The Wheeler Yuta's over as fuck right now, though. The Yuta chants were.
Wheeler Yuta, I caught this. I didn't know this, but he's gonna be in the World Juniors, the Super World.
Oh, that's
Super Junior. What is it? The
Japan, the Super Junior tournament.
Super Junior tournament. He's gonna be in the Super Juniors, man.
Yep. The third match was Wardlow versus a mystery opponent, which was none other than W. Morrissey.
Was not a mystery. Was not
a mystery.
Not the way they could have done a better job of hiding it, but no.
I mean, yeah, but they failed miserably. Good match though. Morrissey looked solid, and it's very rare you see somebody who is just as strong and powerful as Wardlow going against him, and Wardlow did a good job with that as well. I was very impressed with this match.
Well. Second match in a row, he sold very well against a formidable opponent, right? And
yeah,
he called him William instead of W.
William Morrissey. Yes,
W is William Morrissey. I didn't get that, but whatever.
Either did I. I mean, he was not soft or anything like that.
There was a small contingency that started doing "We want Enzo" chants, and
then they had the bigger contingency saying "No, we don't," and then to which W. Morrissey does the little dance, the Enzo dancing, and he's like,
piss off.
Yeah.
He's like, he's gotten so good since he got cleaned up, man. He's gotten so good with his character and everything. I'm really want to see more out of him. From what I understand, I think he's still on with Impact. I think he did re-sign with them a little bit ago. So
I don't know.
I'm just saying, I believe he did. So I'm not sure if we're going to see him again. And I like this openness between Impact and
so do I.
And maybe it's a little bit self-serving on Impact's part, knowing that, I mean, AEW has made it very apparent their cozy relationship with New Japan, right? They have a pay-per-view going on next month about it. So
at the United Center.
I'm just saying, maybe Impact's just like, we should play nice with them, you know. They never really didn't play nice. There was the whole Sammy Guevara thing, I know, but
yeah. So after the match, we'll go through this real quick because it shouldn't take very long. Wardlow just beats the shit out of every security guard within like a 3-state radius. And then he's like, I'm going to keep going until I get my match with you, MJF. And MJF's like, fine, you want your match? You got it. But I have some stipulations, and you'll find out the contract signing. So they have a contract signing next week. I bet you money Mark Stradamus is going to strike again with this. He is not going to be allowed to use a power bomb in their match because, oh my God, has MJF ever done anything like this before? The paradigm shift.
He says stipulations.
Plural.
So that I can see as one, most definitely. I can definitely see that as one. But I want to see what else there is in tune. Of course, he's doing it
I
in Long Island where he'll actually get a pop, right? You know?
Yeah, and I pray to God they don't do a contract on a pole match. My one ask of this, because the one thing that AEW has yet to do is on a pole match,
Which you
and
know me, I'm thankful for that because I loathe
same.
on a pole matches.
Same. Like, I mean, if
Oh,
you did a contract ladder match, that'd be kick ass. But not on a pole. Just don't do that to me. Don't. Because then that'll be one of the very few times you hear me rant on AEW being dumb, other than not having two women's matches on Dynamite.
I don't think
But
they'll
I
go
digress.
down that path. I mean, if I had to guess, you know, the whole MO of what MJF's been doing here has been to try and hamper and disable Wardlow as best as possible. So the no
Hmm.
powerbomb thing makes sense in that aspect. But doing a ladder match or even on a pole the match or whatever like that, that doesn't tilt it in his favor enough, right? It might be one of those things that he can do use whatever he wants. It might be a greatest hits of what he's done against Moxley, Cody, and Jericho, basically. Like you
So like a
can't
one way no DQ.
one way no DQ. You can't use the power bomb, and yeah, like something of that nature.
I mean, that'd be kind of cool. Like I can do whatever I want to. You can't.
Right. You know, because the story has got to be that he makes it so impossibly hard for him, and Wardlow still gets the victory to get his freedom, and uh, sorry,
Wardlow Wallace.
Wardlow Wallace. I just how did you came about me, man? Even though that movie's grossly historically inaccurate,
Uh,
still had to get in there. Still had to get in there, but I don't know. I think that's my thought. If you're putting it like a cage match or a ladder match or whatever, you're giving him as much opportunity to get the win over as you do MJF, and that doesn't sound like MJF.
Yeah. So there is a pretty solid promo after this. I'm gonna pin that because I really want to come back to that. Um, then you had Santana versus Chris Jericho. Jericho won because of the numbers game.
Oh,
I'm
you
so
mean the
fucking over this.
Wizard, Chris Jericho?
The Wizard Chris Jericho. I'm like, what the f?
They even brought that up on commentary. Like, did he just go by the Wizard? Really?
Because he was the influencer, now he's the Wizard.
Because he did the fireball. Stop this. Stop this, Chris. Stop this now.
When I think of the Wizard, I think of the 1980s movie with Fred Savage, and he's
Oh,
got
Michael.
his brother, and then they go to the Nintendo
Oh, the
tournament, and
Nintendo conference. Yeah,
That's when they debut Super
Super
Mario
Mario
Brothers 3.
3. And we all and we along with the viewing audience lost our minds. Like, what is that?
Yeah, and then yeah,
I'm with you. It's a shame too because Santana looked fantastic in this match, and
he did.
they're doing what we asked of them by cutting him away from the inner circle, but they're not because all they're doing is feuding with the new inner circle. It's not. This whole thing is dumb. Just get rid of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So then after that, you had Samoa Joe makes it clear that he's coming after Jay Lethal. Yay. Gun Club and the Acclaim formed an alliance, which I thought was kind of funny because the Gun Club gave him a present of scissors.
Well,
So
you didn't see this on Rampage because after Colton Gunn had lost whatever to Keith Lee, later on they were backstage and this and that, and then that's when they bumped into the Acclaim, who they've teamed up with many times before, and the Acclaim are like, you guys just join us, man, come on, everybody loves the Acclaimed, you guys should be with us, and they're all down in the dumps because they just lost. We gotta go ask Daddy, and they run off, and so. They came with Daddy and with gifts last night too.
yeah, so they scissored. It was fairly funny. Okay, so then there's another promo. I definitely want to put in a pin in that because
we're
there's
saving
lots
that
to
guy.
unpack
We're
on that.
saving that. We're gonna talk about that for
That might be
holiday.
our last thing we talk about for real.
It's going to be
Because it was so good. Then you had the Owen Hart Foundation Memorial Tournament qualifying match between Ray Fenix and Dante Martin, and this match was as soon as I saw this is a JJ dream match. What dream match?
I only wrote 2 words, but I have lots of words to say about it because I just wrote "holy shit." This was my flippy, spinny, mega miracle dream. It was so good. Oh my god! Even through the commercial break, the stuff they had on picture in picture, Canadian Destroyers, there was some things I'd never seen before. There was this like second rope double flipping Russian leg sweep.
Sweep flatliner
I
thingy?
don't know. It looked like a half. It looked like a half Spanish fly, but they're facing the wrong way. And oh my god, so many things, and you could definitely tell it's very much Ray Fenix. This guy is going to pass the torch to you eventually, because Dante Martin's not human, and I could go on and on. This match was amazing. Yes, by far my match of the night. Loved every second of it.
I'm calling it the Spanish leg sweep. What you're talking about, because there's like a mixture between a Spanish fly and a Russian leg sweep. But anyway, so it was kick ass. That match was fun.
Yeah, and the finisher, did you see the finisher Ray did? Is a new finisher.
Yeah, that modified screwdriver.
It was like a screwdriver, but it's more like a inverted brainbuster pile driver thing.
Falcon driver. It was weird.
It was amazing, but I've never. It takes a lot to get a move that you've never seen. It looks scary as hell, most definitely, because you're right on the side of their head between your legs. Yeah.
Ray Fenix gets the dub there. He moves on. So that officially makes our bracket.
Which they released.
And I have thoughts about this bracket, and I want you to talk about this bracket. So we have Ray Fenix going against Kyle O'Reilly, half of Red Dragon. Then on the other side, you have Jeff Hardy versus Darby Allin. So you have Darby Ghost of Future going against
there's no mirror match there, just with 30 years difference.
Adam Cole and Dax Harwood. Then you have Samoa Joe versus Joker.
I know.
I have thoughts on who the Joker is. Who do you think it may be? I have one name already primed and ready to go.
Okay. Every fiber in me is telling me it's going to be somebody new. Because
I agree.
Who would you bring? Yeah, you could do Keith Lee. Sure, you could do a bunch of people. You could do Swerve got screwed. Out of his match a little bit. By Ricky Starks. You could put him in there, but I don't know. So if I was to bring in somebody new. I can't think of who I would be. Try to think who's available, and I can't remember. I cannot remember.
Do you want me to?
Yeah, it's not going to be Bray Wyatt. I know that. It's not going to be. It's not going to be Adam Shear because he's doing the controlling his narrative thing.
Yeah. It's a lot easier than that.
Who?
It's going to be the recent father, Johnny Gargano.
You think that's where Gargano's going to come in?
Yep. And he's going to beat Samoa Joe because Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal and all them interfere. And he's going to move on to face Kyle O'Reilly. And then you have Jeff Hardy losing to Darby Allin. You have Adam Cole winning there. I have Adam Cole in the finals, and I have Johnny Gargano in the finals.
So you have Cole Gargano. That would be low. That would be amazing as all fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I I mean, I don't have any reason to say that's not going to be it, other than I haven't heard any chatter on Johnny Gargano, other than he's just waiting, waiting for his time,
Yeah.
or waiting to make a decision is what I've heard. That he hasn't made a decision if he wants to do AEW or go back, or probably not go back, or go or do something else, or just take some time off. So.
Oh, I think he's made his decision.
I don't know who. I think the decision always had been made that when he decided not to re-up, that is going to be AEW. The question is when. Always has been when. I can't argue with it. I mean, I'm trying to think of a counterpoint, and it's just like.
You know who I wish it was?
I don't really have one. Well, who do you wish it was? Let's go there.
Recently left the company, Stu Grayson.
Yeah,
that hurts. And his shoot interview thing, his shoot on Page on Being the Elite, where he's like, I can't even do the one thing I'm good at, the one thing I love in this world. Like that shoot interview like resonates now because he's like, yeah, I'm stuck in fucking catering. I'm amazing. Like and he is a great wrestler and he should be on TV more. And they just don't put him on, and it just pains me.
Well, apparently, I heard that a lot. You probably read the same thing, because, Sean Ross Scott and, Meltzer, they both kind of corroborated the same story. That just, it wasn't disliked, but he wasn't really, he's not really a sociable guy. So he wasn't really that liked by, a lot of the people behind the scenes because they didn't really know him. It just was kind of like he was a guy that was there. So he didn't really stand out to them. And I don't know. It just,
and Stu's arguably the best athlete out of every one of them, easily. And my understanding from what I read was they wanted to re-sign him, but he wanted more money than what they were offering because they're offering him less than what he originally signed for. I feel like the fans have already spoken up online, like, no, you can't do this. And I hope. Yeah, like I mean, if you're gonna let any of the Dark Order go, he's not the one for me. 5 would be the one for me, and I love 5. Like that's the thing. Like I know I'm gonna get in so much shit for that, but I like Alan, but he's not Stu to me. Stu's amazing.
And from for what it's worth, I mean, I don't know. It's like. Was he mismanaged? Maybe because he was understood. Hopefully, we'll see him again. That's the point. I mean, it's a Dark Order. Like Dark Order. Like I've said, is him and Stu to me, or him and Evil to me. I don't know. I mean, because here's the question: What do they do with the Dark Order now without Stu? Because it feels incomplete, right?
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, because it's always been Evil Uno and Stu.
At minimum.
Always.
Right. It's there.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Well, I guess time will tell. I'm not looking forward to it at all.
It's unfortunate. It's one of those things that, like I said, if you have 50 people on the roster, some stuff's going to happen like this. So, growing pains, let's put it that way.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the main event of the night. And the ladies got to close it out. And this is surprise number 1 for Jamie.
Okay.
That we're going to talk about.
Okay. You didn't. Okay. I know what you're getting at.
And Mercedes Martinez, champion, versus Deonna Purrazzo, champion of Impact.
Mercedes interim champion, to be fair.
Yes. Interim, yes. The thing that killed me about this is my big surprise. How dead the crowd was for freaking Deonna Purrazzo.
It was odd.
Very surprising to me because she is so goddamn good.
Like, and it's
scary good.
And, fan base has been wanting Deonna Purrazzo in an AEW ring. So, yeah, that was odd.
I mean, is it because it was Baltimore and she's a New Jersey girl? Like, I didn't get it.
I don't know. I mean, during the match, they weren't like dead. They were like one of those, like they were really like invested in enjoying the match, but they weren't like a rowdy crowd during the match. So,
yeah, it just I felt left wanting from the crowd. The match itself was magnificent.
Like
Very
both
good
these women
match.
laid it all on the line. I enjoyed this match a lot. And in a surprising turn of events, Mercedes hit a Dragon Sleeper for the win on Deonna, and now she is the undisputed Ring of Honor champion.
See, that didn't
But it's
surprise
not
me.
that surprising because Mercedes is under contract. Deonna's not.
And yeah, that was under contract with Impact, so that's why I didn't find that surprising. I was like,
The most surprising piece for me on this thing was 100% the fact that they were dead for Deonna, and that makes zero sense to me
mm-hmm.
because she is fucking great.
Yeah, the crowd was. I mean, it was interesting. Let's put it that way. The crowd was
Mm-hmm.
interesting this night. So,
Very. It was
take it as it
weird.
may. And the good thing is that they only had one women's match. It was the main event for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm,
For what
mm-hmm.
it's worth. Before that, they had a Thunder Rosa promo where she came out and cut a little promo, and then met by number one contender Serena Deeb and confirmed that they're going to be facing off at Double or Nothing, like we all assumed. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier
Yeah.
on in the night, they had a promo with Ruby Soho, hey Ruby, and Tony Storm, and Britt Baker, and Jamie Hayter, right? And it was
Mm-hmm.
basically Britt and Ruby jarring back and forth at each other, which they're definitely either, if they're not going to be in the finals of this thing, they're definitely setting up an angle between the two of them afterwards. Probably,
100%.
probably the finals is what I'm guessing of the tournament is my guess.
More than likely. I agree. But we don't know until we see that bracket, and that bracket won't get decided till Friday when we see Riho versus Yuka Sakazaki for the 30th
Again.
time.
So, yeah, we'll see.
So
We'll see what happens.
that was the card. Now there are two promos that I really wanted us to get into, and we both want to save the
We
best
want
for
to say we want to
last,
say
if you will.
the good one for the end. Yes, yes. Oh, yes.
But the Adam Hangman Page promo,
This was your other surprising moment, right?
yes,
I'm with you on this one for sure because I was a little bit okay.
I'm like, when I'm listening to it, I'm like, did Hangman just turn heel?
For
And
real.
then like he's even going off on people out of the crowd. I'm like, oh my god. He's like, it's not gonna be another masturbatory Bret Hart appreciation match. I'm like, oh my god. Like,
That's how
yeah,
he
he's gone full
opened.
heel.
That's how he opened. It's like, whoa, hanger.
Yeah, like he went full heel. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this,
Do you,
especially back to the Dark Order piece with Stu gone. Like he is full on separating himself from them.
but he's been that way since he won the title, That was some of the rub they did on BTE. That, since he won the title, he's not the same hanger. He's been separating from them.
Mm-hmm.
But do you feel like it's him going heel or him going heel for this match?
I don't think you could come back for a promo like that.
I mean, he was saying some dirty stuff, some heel shit stuff, man. He really was. So
So this is how I
I
think
don't
this
know.
all
I
plays
don't
out.
know.
This is how I think this all plays out. I don't think Kenny Omega is gonna be ready in time.
Makes sense. He had a
So
lot of he had shoulder and a whole bunch of different other things and multiple.
or Turnia and
It
all these other
it
things.
takes a while.
So I don't think he's gonna be ready by all out.
Okay.
You want to set up a feud with the Bucks and Red Dragon, you need another point to go against Point for Cole.
So you use hanger.
Hanger. Hangman and the
Okay.
Bucks, the original elite, going against the undisputed Dragons, whatever the hell they want to call themselves, or just the undisputed, which is would be even better.
It's simpler.
Yeah, going against the elite, so makes a lot of sense to me. Like this is his way because, as we know, the Bucks have been very not want to be confrontational with Hanger. Like they're like, hey, it's your deal. They've done that multiple times. Like,
Okay.
yeah. Like when it was Omega, like remember when the Omega thing, like
Oh
just
yeah,
do it.
yeah. They were
And
trying
then
to
they
be
did it
Swiss,
again
right?
with Cole. They did it again with Cole. And it's like, man, I could see a reunion coming. They've been planting seeds about it too on being the elite. Like I could see something happening there.
I mean, that would make sense, especially because it doesn't feel like Omega's getting closer to coming back, right?
Mm-mm. No
Okay.
reports
Okay.
either way.
I mean, that's a possibility. We still got 3 weeks out till, or 2.5 weeks out till Double or Nothing. So we shall see. But I mean, I don't know. It's part of me thinks that they're gonna. It feels like maybe he's turning heel for the sake of the match, right? To have more of a clear defined line, to generate heat
Which
for the match, because there's no real heat between him and CM Punk. It's just a matter of CM Punk's next up in line. There you
there
go.
doesn't need to be heat though, because
I
it
don't
is a
disagree
marquee
with that.
matchup.
I don't disagree with that, but if you're gonna have,
If it feels like the forced Shawn Michaels turning heel against Hogan crap. Do you remember that?
I do remember that, but I mean that might be what it is, though. I mean, I don't know. I They banked a lot on Hangman as this major face, so I can't see him abandoning that.
I hope not, but this feels like you went full heel right
Okay,
here.
well,
Spur of the moment heel
you
too.
guys,
Like it
you
was
guys let
out of
us know.
nowhere.
Do you think it's full heel or just short term heel? What do you feel this is? Or is this him just trying to get in the head of Punk? Was it something else maybe, that we're missing? Let us know. Give us a comment, give us a tweet.
All right, so we are now to Heather the Librarian's favorite segment,
Mine too.
mine too. By far, this was my match of the night. This is my everything of the night. Because the show for me was okay, just to be honest,
If you haven't
except
picked
for
up on
this.
that, Jamie went through this pretty quick. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show, but I'm also largely like leaning into that Ray Phoenix, Dante Martin gloriousness for
Yeah.
that. But anyway,
So we had the Varsity Blondes with Julia in the back with all the grayness that keeps going around her eye patch, wearing black underneath her Letterman's jacket. I did pick up on that as well. Her eyeshadow was also black on the other side. And here's Brian Pillman referencing John Harbaugh, used to be his
gives her
dad's roommate in college,
who
and
knew that?
then
Yeah,
calling out the
House of
House of
Black.
Black. Bad move.
Yeah, don't do that. That's not smart. But he does,
He sure does.
and
And
and they
then
and they answer.
they come in, they surround him. So in each of the corners, I did notice this was
Okay,
you
good.
had Buddy, you had Brody, and then in this corner going directly across from them was Malachi, and then you had both the Varsity Blondes in the middle, and then in the other corner
You had
was
Julia,
Julia.
and that's when I'm like, oh, it's happening! It's happening!
And House of Black just beats the shit
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
him.
Beatdown ensues, and they do all this, and left
But
with just Griff in the ring.
then you have Griff in the ring, and then you have Malachi getting face to face with Julia. And she's quivering, shaking, shows a lot of fear. She's only 20 years old, for Christ's sake. And she's right there. And then Brody just nonchalantly, very calmly puts his arm around her, pulls her over by
Buddy.
Buddy, and then on the ground of Griff Garrison, and here comes Brody, gives her a chair.
And
That
the
was my moment.
crowd was for it. They might have been dead for the women's match or for Deonna Purrazzo, but they were in for this, just like we
Yeah,
were.
Like as soon as Julia got it, and Julia's just holding it, like
And Brody's
and then
yelling
she's
at her, "Do it, do it!" But she,
yeah, and then she just breaks down in tears, cries, and just can't do it,
yep.
and
She
then
almost
pisses
did it.
off.
She pauses for a second. She
She
almost goes with
halfway.
it, and then no, stops.
And then Malachi just gets in her face and just rips off her eye patch, which I'm like, oh my god, we get to see the eye. We get to see the eye. We get
Nope.
to see the eye. Nope. And I love the fact that the more I think about it, the more I love the fact it did not get to see her eye.
I love the fact that it didn't happen because they're adding gravity to it. They're adding this. They no more hyperbole and poems and things for Heather to decipher for us, which there'll probably be more, Heather. Don't worry. Is that they're coming.
Yeah.
But they're direct. They want her to be a part. They want her to join the darkness, right?
Me too. Me too.
So let me ask you this, good sir. By, before, or after Double or Nothing is Julia in the house?
Yes.
Which one? By is in before, during it, or after it?
During it.
You think she'll make the turn during? Okay.
I
believe
feel
so.
like
I think that's
I
right.
feel like it's a pay-per-view moment.
I feel like that's right. I feel like they built it in the proper way. I think you could do it before, sure, cool, whatever. After, I feel like that's too long. I feel like you're dragging it out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got the Death Triangle occupied because you got Rey Fenix in the tournament. So, although they did come out and make the save at the end, when he ripped off her eye patch, they came out. So they might be involved in this somehow. Who knows? But I agree with you. I think it's going to be at. I'm just happy they're going forward with it, and they're finally like committing to it too. Like they've said, they've been pussyfooting around this whole thing deliberately. This is all Malachi storytelling stuff, so cool. But I'm just so happy to see it come to fruition. It's so good.
It's making my heart very, very happy.
We don't enough times have a woman in factions that aren't all women.
Which annoys the shit out of me.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to have a token. You can have one. You can have more than one, but it's like to have none. Like I remember back in LAX and the LAX version 3.0 or 4, whatever the last iteration was, Diamante was part of that. I see no problem in I think it's good and it gives some breadth. And they made the point. Yes, she is the youngest. She's 20. She's the youngest person on the roster, right? I think that's by days because Dante's young as shit too. So I mean, 6-1 right there, right? But she's super young. But she's showing a very good character arc, and if you've been watching her on Darker Elevation, she definitely stepped up her game. Her character game, her moveset, her abilities gotten a lot better too, So I'm all for it. Let's see this happen. Let's go.
She's gotten a lot better.
So much
and
better. She has that like little leg, triangle thing. Looks great. It's a good finisher for her. I love it.
There's a lot to like about her right now. So I'm on the bandwagon. I've been on the bandwagon. I think it's gonna happen. I hope it happens at Double or Nothing. I wouldn't be surprised if it happens before, but it feels like it's a perfect moment there. Like in the buy-in. It needs to probably be on the buy-in.
I'll take it as a buy-in moment. That's fine. I mean, odds are, I don't know if they're going to be in a major match for Double or Nothing,
Yeah.
I think
that's why it could happen before.
I think, yeah. And if it happens on the go home show, I'm good with that too, right? Maybe that they just do a promo during the Double or Nothing bit. Cool. That works for me too. I just don't want them to wait till after Double or Nothing. I feel like right before or during, that's when I think it needs to happen. But it's going to be soon. All right. Well,
God, I hope so. It's like, don't fuck this up.
Yes, they won't. Malachi's running this show here. This is his baby. And like I said,
You're very, very true on that.
intentions were made known. They want her to join the darkness. So, all right. Well, that's what we got. That was Dynamite. Overall, I thought it was a pretty good show. I thought it was better than last week. Jamie, you were kind of a little more, about it.
It was solid. I mean, I'm
It
not
was
saying it didn't blow my socks off.
right. They all don't have to. And I think that there's certain things there that the whole Jericho bit needs to change. It needs to change fast. And some
That's
other
what
things,
kills me, I think.
yeah. Well, there's that. There's this other stuff too that is just kind of like, once again, I don't feel like the crowd was dead for it. But Deonna Purrazzo and Mercedes Martinez wasn't like the banger of a finisher or a main event necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you had more than one women's match, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
You had a lot of little promos in here that you could have condensed. Wardlow was good fun. Blackpool's kind of doing the same thing every week, but still entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall see what happens. Well, we start the Owen Hart tournament next week. We'll get the contract signing for Wardlow MJF. Let's see what happens with that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the no power bomb.
It's coming. We all know it's coming. Well,
100%.
That's what we got for you this week. So we'll be back next week, same time, same place. Talk about what happened on next week's Dynamite, as well as any other news and goings on in the wrestling world. There is that Impact little kind of Under Siege pay-per-view mini thing, whatever. We'll see if the Briscoes took home gold. Who knows? Could be, should be. I don't know. Maybe Ishii is going to upseat Josh Alexander. Nah, it's not going to happen. But lots of other stuff coming up here. I know that new Journey Pro show was just recently announced. Tickets available now. Journey Pro KC. Headlock for the cure.
Headlocks for the cure.
Headlocks, plural. Yep. Benefit show, May 27th. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
May 27th,
Yep.
and then Double or Nothing, which I said was May 27th earlier. It's 29th. It's Double or Nothing. But May 27th, Friday night at Agnes. Get your tickets, Journey Pro KC. Come join us. It's going to be great fun. We don't know what the card is. We might get some announcements next week. We'll talk about it if we get them. But we'll be back. So be good to everybody out there. Be kind. It's going to be that summer season. So drive fast. Stay in the middle. If you're on vacation. And we will see you next week. Jamie, final words?
Happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Hey! All right, take us home, man.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Cinco de Mayo, if you're not down with Total Spotfest, Tango Tres Palabras para ti.
You Googled that.
Sure did. Casa del Negro.
Muy bien.
House of Black, y'all. Adios.